Why is the United States Department of Defense and the United States Air Force and Space ISAC all using the Constellation Network DAG? We're going to talk about exactly that in this video. We're going to show you all the different use cases behind the Constellation Network. It's more than just a DeFi company. They actually have a lot of security baked in, so much so that the United States federal entities all want to use this for the security layer. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. For anybody that is new here, all my research that you see on my screen will be down under my video description under the title source. Use these links, research this project more if you're interested in investing in this project. I'm not suggesting that you do so, just saying the research is there should you want to do so. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's learn more about Constellation Network DAG. Check it out with me here. It says trusted in federal cybersecurity. Right there off the top is huge. The blockchain standard for the United States government, representing one of the most contract-awarded blockchain companies in United States history. Read that again, guys. Representing one of the most contract-awarded blockchain companies in U.S. history. Constellation is advancing its mission to produce provable guarantees on the world's data by applying its blockchain protocol HGTP to the military's digital infrastructure. By applying Constellation's digital evidence, which we'll talk about here in just a second, to a range of federal use cases, America's sensitive information can now be protected whenever mission-critical data is being orchestrated. So right off the top, we are seeing that Constellation Network is one of the most awarded contracts from the United States government. Getting a contract from the United States government is huge alone because it's essentially a blank check when you think about it. The United States government, for the military, the Defense Department, spends trillions of dollars a year on the defense, right? On top of that, it's important to note that the Pentagon actually has something called a black budget, where they don't have to report their budget and what they're doing with that. So we don't really know how much is being spent on defense. And we think about that, if they're using the Constellation Network, as the Constellation Network develops and grows over the years, can we see the government truly relying on this network? And if so, can we see this become valuable one day? Outside of that, the technology alone is just mind-blowing. And when we think about what the government or the United States Department of Defense could do with this, it is truly endless. So let's go ahead and get into some different applications and use cases for this network. So check it out with me. Again, all my resources are down in the description, so you want to check it out. So what they're going to be using applications for is going to be secure interoperability, anti-spoofing, data validation, data logistics. Think about procurement, sending goods back and forth, all those things when we think about data logistics. And we have use cases. Think about now ground mobility and ground infrastructure. Think about autonomous vehicles, robots, all those different things that are surrounding us and will be surrounding us going forward. Then of course, drone and mesh networks. Again, drones are just now taking off. You're seeing Walmart use drones. A company called Zipline uses it. Then you're seeing even like gas stations are using drones for delivery. We're just now truly picking up on what drones can do, and it's kind of the infant stage. Think about 10 years from now when drones are a part of everyday life, right? Now let's move on to satellite security and communications. And again, so much communications are through satellite, but also keep in mind for people that are in the payment side of crypto, a lot of payments are actually going to move to satellite as well. So again, another reason why we need to make sure this is secure. Then we have command and control orchestrations. Again, think of military, all the command and control that needs to take place and that does take place. Then lastly, we have edge procurement using crypto. So far, you're seeing how versatile and well needed this project is and what they're doing for the government. But there's so much more that is happening behind the scenes, guys. And like I said, in this kind of project like Constellation, I almost get into a state of analysis paralysis as to what to bring to you guys, because there's so much I can talk about when it comes to this network. So this is part 2 of the series. If you missed part 1, this one here, it will be down in the pinned comments, and it also will be down in the video description as well for you to use. So if you want to learn more about the Constellation Network, check out part 1. And if you saw part 1, now part 2, and there's something I haven't covered yet, throw it down in the comments below, and maybe we'll talk about it in part 3 if these videos perform. If they do perform, we'll go to part 3. Just keep in mind, guys, this is a smaller project, so I will definitely need your help here, hitting that like button, leaving those comments, sharing with a friend. All those things are very critical when I'm covering these one-offs because it's something that really hurts the algorithm, but I want to get this information to you guys. So if you can help me out, hit that like button. Now let's keep on going. Let's get into what else they're using, but this is where we are starting to see them really truly develop and bring out what Constellation Network is going to do. So read along with me here, check out some more information. It says exponential data coming online. The federal government is dealing with vast amounts of data and has invested heavily in existing data management solutions and systems. With the rise of AI adoption and zero trust executive orders, there is a growing need for an evolved data strategy, specifically around JADC2 radical innovation, which is joint all domain command and control. Think about that. All domain command and control to enable interoperability between legacy system and data and cloud infrastructure. And this is where Constellation Network is coming in. They're going to make that seamless transaction between the two. Now let's keep reading on. It says Constellation has been executing blockchain contracts with the Department of Defense for over 6 years, offering a unique protocol that facilitates communications between siloed systems and users without compromising data ownership or security. Focused on provable communications, trustworthy AI, and secure interoperable Internet of Things, Constellation's blockchain solutions have been validated by the Air Force Research Laboratory as secure, scalable, and DoD approved. And as let's keep on rolling down here, guys, we're going to see what else they are a part of. So when we think about more validation of this network, are they going to be somebody that's going to be around? Are they a trusted network? What we're about to uncover next is going to answer that question for you. Think about the impact the Constellation Network has with these people they are working with outside of the Department of Defense and the Air Force, which is huge by itself. But check out what I'm talking about here, guys. So key federally focused membership. Think about it. Federally focused memberships, a strategic contributor in America's blockchain movement. They are a part of the Digital Chamber. I've covered them before in the past. So they're part of the Digital Chamber, Government Blockchain Association, the National Digi Foundry, and then we have Space ISAC, which we're going to talk about as well. This is really interesting stuff here. Then we keep scrolling down here. We have the United States Air Force Letter of Support, and we keep on going down. You can see key government partners. You all have the United States Air Force, as we spoke about, Space ISAC. We have Amazon Web Services. And honestly, guys, if you want to take your time and go to each one of these companies and dive into what they're doing, I think you will be mind-blowing, to be honest with you. I've done that in the past. Some of these names are kind of inconspicuous until you start really diving into what they're doing. You really see the bigger picture of what is taking place here. This is all futuristic companies that we're talking about, space age technology, military grade technology companies, and you're seeing Constellation Network right along with them. I think of Constellation Network as an NGO, which is a non-government official that essentially is funded by the government, but it's a private company, quote unquote. So it's, not a part of the government, but come on, it essentially is, right? But let's learn more about the digital evidence that we spoke about earlier, and this gives you more understanding of what they're doing with this technology here. So come on with me, read a little bit more, check it out. It says verifiable proofs for your data, proof of origin, integrity, authenticity for any data across AI, sensor networks, enterprise workflows, and real-world systems. As we roll down here, digital evidence turns data into something teams can prove where it came from, whether it changed, and whether the source or event is authentic. And then we roll down here, you'll see proof of model. We have origin, integrity, and authenticity in one proof trial. So we have origin, prove where data came from. Digital evidence creates source level proof, records for AI data, sensor readings, documents, media, and operational events. Just alone, think about all those things that touch right there. Then we have integrity. Proof data has not been altered. Immutable fingerprints make changes detectable so teams can verify whether data still matches its original proof. We're seeing this also with Hedera. These two things Hedera is working with as well. So there's something that is very concerning for our government, apparently. Then we have authenticity. So prove the source or event is real. Smart checkmark verification gives users visible ways to inspect the proof trial before they rely on the data. As you roll down here, you'll see that we have sensor authenticity, data integrity and motion, edge data fingerprints. Then we have proofs become something users can expect. Immutable data fingerprints, source level proof records, tamper evident data history, AI data provenance, smart check verification, proof trials for any data. Keep rolling, we have AI data provenance. We have real world proof trials, anonymous sensor proofs. Guys, think about everything that's going to be anonymous going forward. You're going to need this stuff going forward. Then verifiable proofs already moving through real products. We have real estate ledger, image fingerprinting, and the Upsider AI. Okay, so if that wasn't like drinking from a water hose for you, I don't know what to tell you about that. But there's so much information, like I said, that's coming out of the Constellation Network, and they touch on so much that you can get lost for hours digging through this. It's very much like Hedera. Hedera is the same way. You can spend hours digging through Hedera. And we're seeing the same thing with Constellation Network. They are truly connected. They're solving so many problems at once. It's definitely a project, in my opinion, you want to keep your eyes on. And when we talked about Space ISAC, and I told you we're going to touch on that, let's go ahead and get into that one, because again, this gives you the bigger picture of who Constellation Network is truly partnering with outside of the Department of Defense and the Air Force. So check it out here. I will leave this down in the resources as well. So this is Space ISAC, and let's read about their mission here. The Space ISAC serves to facilitate collaboration across the global space industry to enhance our ability to prepare for and respond to vulnerabilities, incidents, and threats, to disseminate timely and actionable information among member entities, and to serve the primary communications channel for the sector with respect to this information. Space ISAC is the only all-threat security information source for public and private sector space sectors. It will be the most comprehensive single port secure for data, facts, and analysis on space security and threats to space assets. Space ISAC will also provide analysis and resources to support response, mitigation, and resilience initiatives. And as we roll down here, you can kind of see who they're also working with. So Space ISAC founding members: Aerospace, Deloitte, Lockheed Martin. You can see what I'm saying here when I'm talking about this is this future of space tech. And you're seeing that Constellation Network is not just working with the Department of Defense, U.S. Air Force, not just things here on Earth. We're looking at space tech as well. And again, Constellation Network is working side by side with these guys. And this is where I think, could this be a project that's going to be pretty valuable one day, 10 years down the road? I think so. Let's go ahead and get into the next piece here. We're going to wrap it up after this one here. And this has to do with Iron Spider. Again, Constellation Network working with space tech. Check it out. It comes from Medium. And this actually comes out February 17, 2023. It's a little bit older, but it's interesting information. Check it out here with me. It says Iron Spider, a universal blockchain toolkit for the U.S. federal government. And this actually is a YouTube video. It's about 20 minutes long, and it's from the Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of Constellation Network. If you want to learn more about this program, I highly suggest you use this link. Check out this video. 20 minutes, very interesting information in it. Let's learn more about this and what's going on with it. So it said, who is the 618 AOC? According to their website, the 618th Air Operations Center is the Department of Defense's largest air operations center. They serve as Air Mobility Command's experts when planning, tasking, executing, and assigning mobility missions. The AOC provides unrivaled command and control across the full spectrum of mobility operations, include aircraft, air refueling, aeronautical evacuation, and the global mobility support system. Commanding a fleet of nearly 1,100 mobility aircraft, the 618 AOC provides warfighters downrange with mobility support they need to ensure mission success. As we read on more about it, we explain what their need is here. So it says, the U.S. Air Force and the 618 AOC have a national defense-related mission, critical need for secure data exchange between their legacy and future command and control C2 and mission planning systems on their commercial partners. What this means is that the United States Air Force 618 AOC need a secure, porous network of communications between the Department of Defense and outside commercial partners, one that is laden with security holes and threatened vectors. This is where that Constellation Network steps in with Iron Spider. So Iron Spider is solving the need that requires laying foundation for the transaction of big data cloud infrastructure using Constellation's unique, scalable, secure, end-to-end multi-smart contracts and big data blockchain solution. Constellation Network, along with Konami, a secure decentralized data storage provider, and few additional partners have created the Universal Blockchain Toolkit project's Iron Spider, which is secure peer-to-peer immutable data resilience. And we are literally in the ground floor of the monumental effort of creating a Web3 enabled DoD. Constellation Network is here. Why are they using the Constellation Network? They are a third generation blockchain, infinitely scalable and energy efficient. Energy efficiency grows with a network. Collaboration focused, legacy compatibility, sorry guys. And then we have quantum attack ready. Constellation's decentralized network and commodities decentralized storage system are capable of orchestrating and securing top secret level data under quantum computing levels. Huge. We know about Algorand being the standout for quantum resilience. So when we read down here more about this is also the 3 major milestones were completed with a recent phase 2 effort. So smart contract deployed with Civil Reserve Air Fleet craft partner. We have hosting security C2 data and storage, blockchain security of C2 data communications. What does this mean? Once data is validated, you have trustless network. This means that the DoD doesn't have to worry about the data being secured or validated because the network's taking care of that. So putting all this together, this is just scratching the surface to what the Constellation Network is truly doing. And we're looking at a very small piece of what they're doing here. I know this video was a little bit longer, but if you guys enjoyed this kind of information, if you want to see a part 3, very critical, you hit that like button, share, comment, all those things. I would love to keep going into the Constellation Network. Additionally, I want to bring out Sealcoin with Quate and get into that as well. Another small project that actually complements this project. These two would go together very well. So if you guys want to see Sealcoin or part 3 to Constellation Network, let me know down below. Before I let you guys go, thank you for hanging out for so long. I know it's a longer video, but before I let you guys go, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, become the change you want to see in the world. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you on the next one.